What's up, team? Mike here, and today we're going to be talking about how to plan your small group meeting time, and also, should you be planning it together with your co-leaders? So why is it important to plan your small group meeting time together with your co-leaders instead of just doing it over a text message or email, or maybe just taking turns making the rundown? There's 3 benefits to planning together: power, preparation, and partnership. So when we plan, it's not just about planning out details or rundown, who's gonna buy the food, who's gonna lead worship. There's power in your planning time. Pray together for your group. Ask God for prophetic words for your group. Lord, invite the Lord into your small group. And we do that together. Yeah, you can do that alone on your own time, but it's more powerful and when you do it together in partnership with your co-leaders. So there's power in planning. The second benefit is preparation, that the small group meeting time will go better when everybody knows what's going on. When you meet together to plan together, you can evaluate the group. You can talk about what's going well, what's not going so well, and it can help you create a better plan for your small group instead of just doing it one by one, doing it by yourself. And the last benefit is partnership, that when you are leading a small group with another person, that there should be unity between you two, that you are partners in this mission. And so when you meet together to pray together and to plan together, it creates unity. It allows you to share what's going on in your own life, that you can get to know each other better, that you can share about what's going on in your discipleship meetings so you can get to know the people in your group better that you don't have the time to meet with personally. And perhaps most importantly, when you gather together to plan a meeting together, it prevents the person with the more dominant personality from taking total control of the group. Because a lot of times, if the more quiet person, if you don't plan together, man, they are just going to be pushed aside and they're going to be afraid to step up and lead. Or if they're a new leader, they're going to be afraid to step up and lead. If you don't have that planning time together to really empower the new leaders, to empower the more quiet leaders, and so that the person with the more outgoing, dominant personality doesn't just take total control of the group and the other leaders just sit back and watch. That is not good partnership, and that will not lead to a successful, healthy, small group. So now I want to look at some of the practical aspects of what your planning time could look like together. And I want to encourage you, try to make it fun. Maybe you could go get coffee together. You could plan at a cool place instead of just making it a dry, boring meeting. So your planning meeting can just be 1 hour long. You could probably shorten it even if you're really busy, but let's make sure that it's a priority. And so you can start your meeting like this. Maybe for the first 5 minutes, you just pray together. You just pray together to really give this planning time to the Lord, to pray for your group, to pray for just whatever is on your heart. Pray for each other even. And then you can move on to catch up with each other. Talk about each other's lives. Because if you're going to be a successful partnership with your co-leaders, you need to know your co-leaders. We need to care about them before we can care about our group. So catch up, get to know each other, share highs and lows, whatever you need to do to make sure that you know what's going on in your co-leaders' lives. Then maybe for the next 10 minutes, you can evaluate the last week. Like what went well, what didn't go well? Like were there some people that didn't join? Why didn't they join? Like how can we encourage them to come this week? Are there any new people that you feel like you should invite? So we can be doing that kind of thing, evaluation during this planning time. You know, for the next 10 to 20 minutes, this is where you can get into the weeds, like the details of your small group meetings. Like who's going to lead worship? Who's going to kind of take lead on the discussion time? Who's going to lead prayer? Who's going to bring snacks? Who's going to lead the icebreaker? We can get all these details in during this next 10 to 20 minutes to make sure that we are well prepared. And if you're doing a study together, maybe you can read over it together and discuss it together first so that you're familiar with it. So you kind of have an idea of where God is leading you in your group with this passage of Scripture. And during this time, you can also plan any hangouts that you want to have that week. Plan some dinners, plan a sports night, plan to go somewhere together with your small group, plan a hangout. And lastly, we want to pray. Like you prayed at the beginning, but now is like a more intentional time to pray, where you can pray over the individual people in your small group. Pray over them by name. Pray over them by what they need. Pray specifically for them. Pray for each other. Pray for the future. Pray for new people you want to invite. But we want to make this a little powerful prayer meeting during your planning time. It's not just a formality, but it is a priority that if you commit your small group meeting to prayer, if you commit it to God, I believe that God will move, that your planning time is not done when you're finished planning, that you need to commit it to the Lord, and we do that through an intentional, powerful time of prayer, not just a little 30-second closing prayer. So there you have it. There's a reason why should we plan small group together, and what can it look like? What does that time look like? I really believe that as you commit yourself to God, as you commit yourself to planning together with your co-leaders, that God is going to move through your small group. Well, God bless you. Let's get after it.